Hey, this is Rick, and welcome to Spit Take. I am here with my co-hosts, Steph
Hello.
and Adam.
Hello.
And first off, I want to start off something we've discussed in the past about living in a simulation.
Stimulation.
I mean, yeah, there's a
I
lot of
I'd love to
wish.
live in
simulations
some
going on
stimulation.
because I'm not wearing pants, but um, so
I'm
I'm
always
just joking. I'm
stimulated.
wearing I'm wearing jorts. So living in a simulation. And so I was at this 10-day retreat, and I've been certifying what's called iRest Yoga Nidra for a year, a little over a year now, and I just got my certification today. And, you
I saw
know,
that. Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. Um, and I came to a realization, and it's something that Advaitis and Kashmir Shaivis uh, realized this eons ago. And these are basically like, okay, there's Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and then these guys kind of later on like elaborated on it and came up. It's like back in the day, they had nothing to do but sit around and ponder. They didn't have social media and the phone and all this hustle and bustle. They literally sat by the river and thought all the time. So here's the thing: everything we see, hear, touch, and smell is actually a projection by our brain. Our brain is taking the best guess of what's out there and projecting that onto a screen. And that screen is what's called awareness. So there's this awareness that we all have, and collectively, we individually see the same things. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's. Are you okay, Kat?
Okay, I was
That's
wondering what that was. I'm like,
my cat has nose problems, but he's my handsome boy. Um, so our brain literally is telling me that I'm touching something, and telling me what texture that is. But if it wasn't for my brain, would that really be there? It's telling me what color things are. So there's this thing that's outside of all of that. Because what we see and hear, taste, and smell is actually happening. So that everything we see, I'm looking at you, but really it's all in my brain. It's being projected into my brain. But what's it being projected on? So the way they describe it is like it's in the silence. And when your emotions come up and they fall, what's left? So I look at it as like I throw water at a canvas, and then the water trickles down, and the canvas is still there. There's something that's actually here. It's in our brain, and we are in it. If the world explodes, it's still there. It has no beginning and end. And the thing is, it's like nothing that we can ever answer in this life. So this idea that we are in a stimulation is completely true because we actually don't know what's out there as we're sitting here talking and seeing and hearing, smelling, tasting. We actually do not know what that is and where we are at.
So I agree with you on the simulation theory, and it's something I've looked very deeply into. I look at it from a different perspective, where yours is a little bit more on the spiritual, ethereal
It's not
plane.
spiritual. This is scientifically proven that everything is projected by our brain.
So the couple of things that I've looked at, and it's interesting to hear a lot of like the Harvard scientists and stuff talk about it. One of the biggest evidences that they have for it is the double slit experiment, which is basically where they created two different slits and they shot photons through them. And so this isn't, they weren't trying to find this. This just kind of happened. So they shot it. They were like expecting what should happen is it should create a perfect outline of the two slits. What they ended up finding was that those photons were going everywhere behind after they go through the slits. So they were going all over the canvas behind it, right? So they were like, holy crap, this is amazing. We got to film this. As soon as they put a camera on it, it acted exactly the way they expected it to the first time, and it actually created the two slits. So in the way that they describe this is, it's kind of like in a video game. If you're not in a certain area, that certain area doesn't exactly exist in the video game. So it renders as you get closer to it or as you pay attention or can see it. So it's the same thing. Photons were acting differently based on whether somebody was watching it or whether it wasn't being watched at all. It's really interesting because it's the concept that, what, as far as we can see into the universe, beyond that may not be rendered because we can't see it. So when they ask that question, when a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? In this example, it would be no, because it's not rendered. It doesn't exist.
Explain rendering.
So rendering is, I'm trying to think about the easiest way to describe it. So imagine that you're in your house, you have all your walls, no windows or anything, right? So if you were in like a video game and you were in that situation, outside of those walls does not exist. Like, it's not rendered. It's like all held into a single point of code. And it says
it not exist because something exists.
no, so nothing exists. So that's the idea. That's
But
the
we
idea
don't
behind
know that
rendering.
nothing. That's the thing is.
Well, so that's why it's theoretical. But here's the thing: is it's code. It's all it is. It's code, and it's told, hey, don't render this area because nobody's there. And what it does is saves processing power. So the idea of we're in a simulation is that
What projects that code?
What?
What projects that code?
So we don't. That's the thing, is nobody's sure yet. But the idea
We're
is
sure of what projects it.
no. So listen, the idea is that we are higher beings that have entered into this, we'll call it Earth game, whatever you want to call it, but the technology still has limitations. It has limitations on how much it can process, the processing power. So it reserves processing power by not rendering the things outside of what you're visually able to see. So that's what the real concept is, and that's why games render
Right.
like that,
But
is because
something is there. We know something is there.
we don't know if something is there. Something may not
But
be
we
there.
do know something is there.
We don't know something is there. How
But
can you prove
here's
it?
the thing: we don't know what is there but we know something is there because there is something experiencing.
There is something that is controlling the simulation. That's what we know. But for all we know, that's a computer outside of the simulation doing it.
So how is this different from what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that it's 100% different. I'm saying that, like,
But how is it any less than 100% different?
because what you're talking, so the way I was understanding what you were saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I was understanding what you were saying was that our brains are projecting the images.
But also, I said that's all conceptual. Everything our brain is projecting is conceptual. There is something outside of that exists that's not conceptual.
Well, right, we're in a program. It's the Matrix.
So that's the thing is, the Advaitas understood that a long time ago, without all the science, but it understood that something was in control, and it wasn't us. Because this idea of I does not exist. The idea of I am me is a concept.
Well, when you put it, I mean, I think we're saying the same thing, but like additional supporting facts. So like they've identified binary code in the universe. They've identified it as something that certain things out there have triggered binary code. Binary code obviously is what makes our computers run, even though we have different engines that produce it and everything. At the end of the day, what happens is that you have an engine that converts the syntax of everything down into ones and zeros. So everything you're putting in. So even if you're doing, for instance, I use Unreal Engine, right? So I use block programming. So when I take a block out and I put it in there and I connect it to another one to make an object change colors, right? So what those blocks are doing is that they're converting into written code, and the written code is then being converted into ones and zeros that make sense and make it happen. Basically, without the ones and zeros, no matter how advanced we get, our computers would not run. So they've identified this in the universe. It's still, again, theoretical, but they've found different pieces of that, and they were like trying to understand exactly what it is. So
Let me
It's-
ask you this: where do thoughts and emotions come from?
we don't know.
If it's your thoughts and emotions, then you wouldn't suffer.
I'm not sure I follow. Explain.
Well, if I have thoughts and emotions that are making me depressed, why would I have them if they were mine?
Because they belong
Because
to your
then I
body.
could just clearly just not have emotions that make me depressed if they were mine.
I mean, that's getting into a little bit physiology. I don't know.
But the thing is, they're not coming from this idea of who I am or who you are. Because if they were, then you can control them. So the fact of the matter is, what Adventus said, I don't know if that's what you call them, is they are coming from that place that you're talking about. We don't know what's out there, but something is out there and information is present. And information is already there. So Steph was talking about some issue beforehand, and I'm not going to say it in detail, but getting, there's a lot of stress coming up. But the thing is, okay, get rid of the stress and the information's already there. You already know what to do, but it's all that other stuff that comes on top of it that keeps you from doing it.
So what you're saying, if I'm following this correctly, which I'm probably not, is that it's not my emotions that are doing this, it's somebody else's projecting it onto me, which is causing that.
Take off the word my and just say emotions are rising. And see if that feels different than my emotions. Emotions are rising. See if that feels different to you.
Emotions are rising. My emotions are rising.
So it's like you're looking at a tree,
Mm-hmm.
but peel off the label tree. And so you're just with an object.
Mm-hmm.
There's just an object in awareness. You see what I'm saying? So these emotions, I label them as anxiety. But anxiety is a conceptual thing. It's a word that humanity has created. You take off that word and take off the my anxiety or I'm feeling anxious, and it's just this object that's arising.
I think for me, I have to deep dive into this a little bit more and do some more research before I can give any sort of.
It's not even something to research. It's something to just be with. Because what we're all trying to do is intellectualize this something. And I think science is, from what Adam's talking about, is understanding it more, but I don't think either you can never understand it or the government already understands it.
I don't know. I still believe that people are exposed to their emotions. They have control over their emotions.
Take off the they. But if they had control over their emotions, they wouldn't have PTSD. They wouldn't have depression.
But you can also control it.
If
You
you
can control
it,
your-
then why,
you can
then
control
why does
your-
everybody have depression?
You can control it through your outlets, through different outlets.
If everybody was able to do that, then why doesn't everybody do that?
Because not
Easily.
everybody wants to admit it, and not everybody wants to seek the help.
So
I'll agree with that.
there are people, such as myself, who sought help for a long time, and nobody was helping, and nothing was helping. I would say I have all this anger coming up, and what the therapist say, oh, you just need to give it space, and I'd say, no, it's different. Then I swear to God, what I'm feeling is different from everybody else is feeling, and then I was just written off. So I think the fact of the matter is, you look for help, and then you find people that just don't understand what you're going through because they're just trying to be experts and tell you the way you should feel, rather than trying to, like, the idea that, oh, they're just not doing this or they're not doing that is flawed, because you can't experience what somebody else is experiencing. And what you got to understand is people are very identified with it. And if you misidentify with it, then all it is objects just arising and falling. But if you identify with it, you suffer. There's a lot
I
of
don't know.
avoidance going on. But going on the
I was gonna say, I don't know.
I'm gonna segue here.
That's probably a good idea.
We'll,
We can argue
we'll,
about this for a long time.
we'll get off. Yeah, but I'll win. We'll get on
Yeah, sure.
Superman. So, Superman's a couple weeks out. But we've had a lot going on. Adam, have you seen Superman?
Not yet. It came
Oh, it's
out.
crazy.
I know it came out the day before me and Steph left for the Ozarks, so I didn't see it that week. And every weekend since then has just been insane. So, and two small kids, so I haven't gotten to see it. I'm gonna try to find time soon because I've got to see that. I've got to see Fantastic Four. I really want to see The Naked Gun, but Superman is top of my list if I had to pick one.
I will tell you, I have a friend who is very much in the nerdom like you guys are. And he said he did not like Superman.
He might have been a Snyder fan.
Well, Adam's okay. Here's the thing. Adam's gonna like it no matter what.
I love Superman.
Yes.
Adam, you're just a DC nerd, and that's
Yeah.
okay. That's why I love you.
I love different iterations of Superman. I've loved different universes of Superman.
But I'm going to tell you what Superman. Okay, this Superman. See, if you don't love this Superman, then you don't know Superman.
Okay, I
This
like hearing
was
that.
the Hope Superman. This was the nice guy Superman, that incredibly nice guy, not dark and dreary. And I do love Zack Snyder. I did watch Superman on the way home from the plane, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was fantastic. Not the greatest movie ever, like Adam would say, but it was fantastic. But
One of my
David
favorites.
Cornsweet, who I'm pretty sure is autistic, listen to him talk about Star Wars, was perfect, perfect as Superman. It was the most I am going to sacrifice, and he wasn't like all powerful. It was kind of a weaker Superman, but he's only 3 years into it.
Yeah.
And it just throws you in the middle of a conflict. It doesn't start all over. It doesn't treat you like you're stupid. Oh, let's do this. It throws you in the middle of the conflict. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is perfect. He had so much hate you can feel it. You can feel his hate for Superman. It was seething. It was beautiful. But the stars of the show, other than Superman and Lex Luthor, was Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, who was incredibly such a dick. And that's what you want out of Guy
That's what I
Gardner. Like,
heard.
he was a perfect dick. Perfect. I loved it. And Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is being talked about on social media so much. I think everybody, there's a scene kind of like that in Guardians, Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
Where he killed everybody with the arrow. Mr.
Yeah.
Terrific had one of those scenes
Okay.
where they played some song, and then he just freaking just beat the shit out of everybody, but looked bored doing it. Mr. Terrific was very cerebral. So I mean, I'd have to say James Gunn knows what he's talking about when it came to this, and did his homework. And then Millie Alcock had a small role in it, but like her Supergirl, I cannot wait for it.
I know. Very excited about that.
Crypto is my favorite.
I was
Alan
so
Tudyk was a robot.
so it was interesting to see Crypto as kind of a smaller dog, and I don't know if they kind of address that in there because I've
It
always
was
known
based
him.
off of what's his name's dog. The director.
Oh, so yeah,
James, it was based off James Gunn's dog.
because I've always known Crypto as being like a bigger dog. So it was interesting that they went with like a much smaller one.
Yeah, I think it was like just James Gunn's dog.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll do something with that in the future of him being bigger. But I mean, interesting choice with that. But I heard that Crypto was amazing, and apparently, dog adoption skyrocketed after the movie came out.
Yeah, I got enough animals.
Yeah.
Hot girl, I love Isabella Merced, whatever her name is. I think she was a highlight in the second season of The Last of Us. That was terrible. She was Dora the Explorer, which I actually enjoyed when I took my daughter to it like 5 years ago. She was really good, but they didn't give her enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Hot Girl was pretty good. So I'm gonna say that I'm very. I can't. What's its name's coming out in a couple days too? John Cena.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's coming out. Oh, we got
Yeah.
to talk about WWE
think-
too.
End of the month it comes out.
Yeah. I can't wait. Oh, there was some great cameos too.
I heard
You're gonna love-
Peacemaker had a cameo. I watched that one.
Peacemaker had a cameo. He was on one of those like talk show, like the internet web,
Where he was
talk
talking
shows.
shit about the superheroes. That's always my favorite bit that they did with him in the Peacemaker show. Where he like the best was when he goes to the classroom. He's talking to all the kids, and it was like,
Yeah.
what's the one kid? Like, one kid's like, "Did you ever meet Wonder Woman?" No, I've never met her, but she did. I fucked me at a party one time. He's like telling the kids this.
Yeah, I want to meet John Cena one day. He's on my bucket list.
He's so damn funny. I'm glad
I
he
will
found his
bring up
niche.
WWE in a second because SummerSlam was this weekend. But
I'm glad
Wait,
Peacemaker
you-
found his niche of being a comedy actor, because he was trying to do action and it was not good. And then all of a sudden he did
he's
like.
definitely he was a comedy actor in WWE.
Did you ever watch
Okay.
that Ricky Stenicki movie?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Steph.
Oh my
I
god!
thank you, Rick, for recognizing that
I was like,
trying
shut
to
the
say
fuck
something.
up.
I know. I was like, God damn it. No, we were watching, I forget, we were watching some Rebel Wilson movie last night and passed out. And then John Cena, I woke up to a new movie that he's in. I think it was on Amazon Prime. And I only saw like 5 minutes. He was like the president or something. And I kind of got into
Oh,
it.
I know he's in a new movie on
Yeah, I
Amazon.
don't know.
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But I was like, wait, this is actually kind of funny and I really want to be present in watching it. So I turned
Heads
it
of
off.
State.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in it with Alba.
Oh, yeah.
Idris Elba. I guess I have to watch that.
Yeah. But God, he's so funny. That Ricky Stenicki, where he's just like the that
He's
singer
good.
in the bar.
Yeah.
Like
good.
I'll play when I tell people to go watch this movie. I'm like, here, just watch this clip, and it's just him singing the songs about like masturbating.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
John Cena said, "I'm never gonna have children because of my careers, and I need to focus on my career." Like I think he's really somebody that really cares, and he's like, "I couldn't be there for my kids because of what I'm doing."
Yeah.
But he has done more Make a Wish than anybody in history.
I believe
Really?
that.
Like every kid he's ever met is about to die,
Wow.
and is probably dead now.
Yeah.
John Cena and yeah, I think The Rock. I think they're both just every role that they're in, they just kind of crush it.
I don't know. Rock's been bad for a while. I know there's a new
Uh,
UFC movie
I
that I
don't-
want to see with him though.
I don't think the
Moana?
Rock's.
Come on.
I don't think the Rock's bad, but I think that some of his choices he could
Tell me
have.
what you
He
think
could have
about
said.
Black Adam. Adam,
could-
let me
he
tell
could
me
have
what you
said
think
no to
about
a
Black
couple of
Adam.
scripts.
I'm surprised that's not your favorite. Black Adam. Anyways.
I like Black Adam.
Ah! I knew it.
Of course I do. That was a good movie.
It was terrible.
It was a good movie. I like that
I
one.
didn't even know that was a movie.
But-
They played
Blue
Painted
Beetle-
Black because he's just killing all those soldiers in the desert.
Speak of which,
Awesome.
the Blue Beetle, what's his name? From Cobra
Zolo-
Kai.
Zolo Hernandez.
He's in the universe.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna be in James Gunn universe.
Cool. Yeah, they said I was reading something with James Gunn. He says everything from Superman on, if it's referenced, is canon. So he's like it. So I think, and a bunch of stuff is going to come out in Peacemaker that's going to connect Suicide Squad and Peacemaker season one. He's like, some of the stuff from Peacemaker season one isn't canon, and it's like weird that he says that, but he's like, if it's referenced, it's canon. He's like, it exists. So I thought that was interesting. But I do have to ask you, Rick. So you're talking about Nicholas Hoult being a great Lex Luthor. You know what I'm going to ask you? Who's better, Michael Rosenbaum or Nicholas Hoult?
Well, I'm going to throw you a curveball, and this is a big curveball because he's a pedo. But my favorite Lex Luthor is Spacey, Kevin Spacey.
Really?
I thought he was a great Lex Luthor because he was over the top comic booky kind of.
Yeah.
Other than Gene Hackman, like I thought Kevin Spacey was a great Lex Luthor. Too bad he's a freak.
Yeah. I see. Because I haven't seen the Superman movie, I can't make that decision yet. But
But
Michael Rosenbaum.
I think Nick Holt, Michael Rosenbaum.
But they're all different iterations. They're all different
I'd
styles.
say no, because Michael Rosenbaum really seethed over Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, you know what? Somebody said that this is actually kind of feels like a sequel to Smallville.
Oh,
And
really?
it's like, yeah, I can see this being Michael Rosenbaum like 10 years
Okay.
from the end of Smallville. I can see that.
So and he was always my favorite because there was so much depth to his
Oh,
character.
he's great.
He was because
He was the
him and
best
Clark.
character in the show until he
Him-
was gone. I think the show suffered without him.
Yeah, well, him and Clark were just so good. Like they started off as friends and everything, and like then he slowly turned into the Lex Luthor we all know. And I thought the way that Michael Rosenbaum played that was just amazing.
Oh yeah, no, that is a hard one because Nick Holt obviously hasn't been around long enough.
Yeah,
But I thought he did such a great job, and you felt the hatred.
yeah. Well, Michael Rosenbaum also got 5 years of character development versus the 2 hours Nicholas Hoult got.
And that's the thing is nobody really got character development in this movie. It was just all the characters were established.
Yeah. Well, and it's really cool. I really want to go see it. And there's always like the shower thoughts that I had of how I would do the universe if I had to do a reboot, and I would do something similar. Did you ever play DC Universe Online?
No, I have. I used to play it with you.
Did you? No, we played Champions Online. Did you play DC Universe too?
Yes.
Oh. Well, the intro scene I thought was a great way
It's still going
to.
on. I thought about
So
downloading
forgettable.
it when I was looking
Oh.
because I've been playing Marvel Rivals.
I got it on my Switch. I love it.
I was thinking about downloading again.
Yeah.
Starting
So
over.
there's a cinematic for the intro to the game that was absolutely amazing, and it shows like the Justice League squaring off against the Legion of Doom and everything, and there's like a big battle going on in almost like a post-apocalyptic Earth. So it's like the final battle, and then it ends with Lex Luthor killing Superman, and then Brainiac and his goons come from outer space, and they go to invade the Earth. Then they show it was all Lex. Yeah, it was all Lex Luthor from the future showing the Justice League, here's your future unless we act now and we figure this out. So it was basically him showing a projection of what was going to come, but the Justice League was already assembled. And I would have done something very similar to that so that you could just jump right into the kind of stuff they're doing. But I mean, from what it sounds like, he did an excellent job
Wow.
just jumping right in.
That's an underrated, like, character legacy because everybody thinks of the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's the best Joker? But Lex Luthor, there's been a lot of good Lex Luthors
There have.
other than Eisenberg.
Yeah, that was a poor that was a poor casting choice.
That's terrible.
Poor
Let's
casting
move
choice.
on to Fantastic Four real quick.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one? You didn't watch that one.
No, of course I didn't. Too busy.
So they put Fantastic Four in its own universe. There was a theme, and as I texted you, or I don't know if I texted both of you guys, this is the best year of superhero movies in history, because we had Thunderbolts, which was fantastic. Then we have Superman, which I love. Fantastic Four was really good. It was really good. Not as good as Superman. I wouldn't put it up there with Superman, but it really you get the feeling when you think of Fantastic Four family. But it's like they made it feel like the whole Earth is family
Okay.
with the threat of Galactus.
Okay.
And I don't want to give too much away, but basically, Galactus had a big hunger, and there was something that the Fantastic Four had that can take away his hunger, so he can stop suffering.
Hmm.
And they did give a little bit of background on Galactus and everything. And what's her name was the new Silver Surfer,
Yeah.
the girl from Ozark, who's a great actress. The
Oh.
The
dude who
blonde
played,
girl?
yeah, she was the Silver Surfer, which a lot of people complained about, but I'm like, whatever. This is a character that was in the alternate universe comics, and this is in an alternate universe. Um, but the person I was surprised about was Johnny Storm, because Johnny Storm was portrayed by Chris Evans as like this stupid jock, goofy jock, which he did have a little bit of that going on. But this Johnny Storm was also smart, and you'd think a pilot for a rocket ship would be pretty smart,
You'd think so, yeah.
So he's not Reed Richards smart,
Yeah.
but
Nobody is.
he still can figure stuff out. You know,
Yeah.
I was a little upset that Doctor Doom was not on the ship, but not gonna ruin that.
Yeah.
And we know Robert Downey Jr. is going to play him, which I'm interested to see what they do with that. But yeah, Galactus looked really good. They did Galactus great.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four. It like it
Yeah.
felt like a standalone movie because it was in a different universe. It was a futuristic 60s, so it wasn't like officially connected to everything yet.
There was a period of time in the early 2000s where DC villains were all clouds. Don't know why.
Well,
No,
Galactus is
not
a
just
god, yeah.
DC. Yeah, all comic book villains were clouds because Galactus.
Yeah, Marvel, yeah, and then wasn't there a cloud in Green Lantern?
Yeah, so that was Parallax,
Parallax, yeah.
traditionally
Beautiful
in some type of humanoid form,
Yeah.
but was portrayed as a cloud. And
Hey,
then,
Adam, what'd you think of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern? Hey, Steph, listen to this. Hey, what'd you think of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern?
I didn't hate it,
You were right. You called it.
but who was the other one? Darkseid was a cloud in Smallville. He took over Lionel Luthor for a little bit, but he was basically
Don't
just a
remember.
cloud.
It's been so long.
It was season 10, I think.
We got to think about going to that.
Yeah. But yeah, there was just a weird time where they were just clouds.
Yeah, you got to think like budget made it cheaper to be a cloud. I don't know why everybody consciously decided to make it a cloud.
Like, why is it cheaper to make a CGI cloud than it is to put a human in a costume? Why-
And just like have all these little this little figurines like in Beetlejuice
yeah.
in the basement or in the attic.
Yeah.
Just have a god dude just smashing everything. Like Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was the technology was there to build a nice suit. Although they fucked that up anyway.
That's true. That is true. I mean, they made a shitty thing suit.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I don't even really think about that, but now that you say that, yeah. That was kind of very Power
Okay.
Rangers.
This one actually was pretty good. I like the actor that played it. I've seen him in other things too, and they did show his face a couple times.
Yeah. There's it looks like it was such a good movie and I heard really good things about it. So,
It was surprisingly good, but the thing is that and Thunderbolts are not reaching financial expectations because of Thor: Love and Thunder and Ant-Man: Quantumania.
some poor choices.
Disappointments that people just don't want to go to the movies, I guess. But
I-
on top of that, they're going to be on streaming in a little bit, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I think they've got to do I think they've got to put the director power back behind the movies because like a lot of people have so much faith in James Gunn and the work that he's done and his legacy. I think that brought a lot of people to Superman. But you're right, streaming services, people are like, whatever, I'll catch it in a month on streaming. Like, it used to be, like, it was in the movie theaters for like 2 months, and then you had to wait another 2 months for it to be released on video. So like,
Right.
if you didn't see it while it was in theaters, you had to wait a while. But now it's like, hey, cool, it's been out for a couple of weeks. We can throw it on streaming.
Right. Yep. I'm gonna move on to this. I haven't, it's been a couple days since I said anything to you guys, so I don't know if anything new's come up. This mothership coming towards Earth.
Yes, let's talk about this.
I don't know if Adam, if you got any new information. I know you were skeptical about it, and I am a conspiracy theorist, and so is Steph to an extent. So,
So
anybody got any new news on that?
I do.
yeah,
I'll let
well,
Adam go.
yeah. So it's not so much that I'm skeptical and I'm saying it's not an alien. I'm with Avi Loeb, the guy who wrote the paper. I'm with him on this, and he says that he's encouraging, he's like, we need to do the scientific method. We need to find the evidence and determine what it is. And I actually read the paper. It was very, very good. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand because I'm not an astrophysicist, but the stuff I did understand makes a lot of sense. And a lot
What
of
you do is you copy it all and paste it in AI and say, break this down into bullets points, easy to read, like I'm a 2-year-old, and then it will.
I didn't even think to do that. I just read the paper and was like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
That's what I do with just about everything.
But so he says multiple times throughout the paper that the scenario that he's putting out is paragogical. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's paragogical, which means that they're using it as a way to teach people how to ask the right questions about things like this. And he says it, basically a lot of the evidence that they found points to it being something different than they've seen before from a comet, right? So it's acting differently. He says in the paper, all likelihood it probably is a comet. He's like, but it's acting so differently, we can't rule out the possibility of it being alien technology. One of the great points he makes is that the object didn't appear to us until it got to about Saturn, I think. I think it was Saturn. So he's like, it's strange that it made it all the way into our solar system without seeing it.
And then it gained speed.
Yes. So, and they said
I
that
don't know if there's any scientific reasoning for that, but that just seems odd because it feels like if something's floating in space, it's just going to stay the same speed. But
Yeah.
Isn't the
that's my
gravitational
brain
pull?
That's really minuscule.
So it could be possible that as it's been grabbed by the sun, it's accelerated slightly. It is possible. The trajectory that it's on is going to take it very close to several planets that are not aligned, which they said is very strange. Like the way it's going to move, it's like going to pass by planets in a certain way that it's very odd. Additionally, they said it's got no tail, which is something you would find commonly with a comet. They
There
said,
is a tail.
huh?
There is a
So-
tail.
So far, from the information I got, maybe you've heard differently, but from what I've heard, that there was no visible tail. However, they did say it is possible that the tail is not visible beyond like measuring instruments. Like it's could be some type of gamma, ultraviolet, some kind of tail that kind of is formed like that. So they did say that is a possibility. And I guess there's something to do with the angle of it. The angle that it's moving or the angle that it's coming in at is very different on its axis. What was the other thing they talked about? The other evidence that they had that it could potentially be an alien craft.
Keep talking, I hear you.
Yeah. So the other evidence that there was something else I was just thinking about that had to do with that. I can't remember, but yeah, Steph, go ahead. Tell me what you.
So I am afraid of aliens. I will admit that. However, I do believe that they are already here and walking amongst us.
Because you're fucking crazy.
No, there's been signs. If you ever really
It's a good
look
movie.
at people around you that you don't know, it's a scary movie. You can tell who's an alien and who's not. bad meat suits all around. I remember I was in yoga one day and I looked over. I think I told this story on here before. And I looked at this woman who her bones were just like weirdly sticking out and her face was like melting. And I go, that's a fucking alien. And so the other part about this is I have a friend that,
Shrooms.
um, huh? Oh,
Shrooms.
I have a, I have, I have a friend that, I don't want to give away too much information because I don't feel like being interrogated by the government, but it's a possibility it could happen. He is very high up and he is a scientist and has been asked to look into this comet, and that's all he could tell me. But he said he has not really done anything with it yet. But he was looking at different uh, literature and studies and everything, and he said it's a comet. And he was really hoping it was going to be an alien spacecraft because, everybody wants to see what's out there. Now, if it is an alien spacecraft, I also think that um, it's not going to be a hostile one. I couldn't think of the word. I almost feel like it's coming. If it is, I almost feel like since there's already aliens walking this earth, it's not coming to destroy Earth. It's probably coming to either pick up its people or whatever creatures, and it's also probably like trying to learn more. So I don't think it's a hostile um, craft if that's it, but I do think that it's just a comet, and we will find out soon.
Well, I agree with you. There are a lot of ugly people on this planet. Thank God we're not three of them. But, I mean, have you ever seen what meth does to a person?
Yeah, I don't think that the woman in yoga was doing meth. I think it was just
Yeah.
a very poorly chosen uh, meat suit.
Well, you ever seen that Zuckerberg video where just
Yeah.
he's just talking, and then there's just like barbecue bottle on the bookcase, and it's like, yeah, that the humans love barbecue.
I've seen that. That's pretty
Yes,
funny.
yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then like when he was on Joe Rogan, he's like acting overly natural. He's like, yeah, brother, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like totally my wife, she's just so out of control. Like he's trying to talk like he's real people.
Elon Musk is an alien too, though.
Um. Oh yeah. Well, that's what I think. Because Elon Musk's definitely autistic. I think autistic people are aliens. Even though I talk too much about autistics, but there's a reason for that. But
Yeah. So,
as you guys know, I'm a complete conspiracy theorist.
yeah.
But here's the thing. Uh, they're saying it's 98% chance that it's unnatural, and so it doesn't mean that it's carrying aliens. It could be space garbage, and it could be from this giant planet. Because if you look at like the biggest star, we are specks. We are like you can't see us if you are the biggest star. So it could be like the biggest planet ever giants hurling this garbage our way. Like it doesn't need to be like aliens. Now, my perception of what aliens really are is going off of this idea that we are in a simulation and we actually don't know what's out there. Um, that what we have among us are really interdimensional beings. And, I remember being very interested as a teenager and looking at and reading all these stories about like these spaceships coming out of the Bermuda Triangle. And it's almost like there's some kind of portal in the Bermuda Triangle. But also, if you look off the Gulf of Mexico and the space in Mexico, there's actually like a force field around this place to where hurricanes will happen, but it surpasses this place, and there's like a 90-degree space where it goes off, and it's off the certain space in the ocean that they see something from satellites. So I think I'm on board with Steph that aliens are already here, but I think it's really interdimensional beings that are already here. I don't think aliens are here because my idea is like, yeah, there's probably other living creatures in this universe, but in this universe, but like that's a long way to travel, and so like what you'd have to be in cryogenic freeze to go from one place to another in this in this universe.
Okay, so I'm going to interject here because I also think that there are different portals for interdimensional beings, and one
They're
of
called
them.
wormholes.
Okay, but I'm talking about the disappearing stairs in the forests,
Hmm.
which I won't get too into. We can talk about that next time. But there are definitely different portals throughout wormholes, whatever you want to call them, where I think aliens or interdimensional beings can cross through from here to wherever they go. And
Mhm.
I think there's a lot more than people realize. And they could be literally in front of you. Maybe it goes back to this whole simulation thing where it's like you could be walking in the forest and see some weird tree, or you see these stairs, these disappearing staircases. That's a portal. So I think that you might be right.
So, so a couple of things came back to mind as you guys were talking. So, uh, number one, I agree with you, Rick, that this it could be from an alien planet. It's just some junk. Um, the the other option, the other thing it could be is, as you mentioned, cryo freeze, going through space and stuff. So it's possible, and they've talked about this on Star Talk, which is the Neil deGrasse
I
Tyson
only
show.
got that from Alien,
Yeah,
as you know.
but yeah, but Neil deGrasse Tyson has a show called Star Talk, and I watch it a lot on my way to work. I listen to it on my way to work, and one of the things they've talked about is generally generational starships, which means that, like, basically, if you're an astronaut right now, you go out for a period of time and then you come back to Earth. The generational starships is you pile a bunch of astronauts on a ship, with knowing that they will not come back home. They know that they will not see the next planet. Their job is to basically procreate on this ship, and create generations that will eventually reach the next planet.
Well, that's Star Trek.
Yeah, similar, except without like warp drive. But so the other thing, so I mean, that's always a possibility, is that there's generational starships that they've sent out. The other possibility, well, so the other thing that's brought up a
I guess
lot.
that's what's that movie with the robot?
Star Wars.
Which one?
No, with the
Iron
little
Giant?
robot, the Disney robot.
Oh, Wally.
Wally, that's Wally.
Yeah. So that was a
That's more Wall-E.
generational spaceship. Yeah. But the other thing that's brought up in the article is the Fermi paradox. And if you're not familiar with that, that is the paradox that says in this vast universe beyond infinity, and with the likelihood that, or with the knowledge knowing that like other planets could have life on them, why have we never discovered them? So that's the Fermi paradox. It's like, okay, why have we not discovered them? So there's another thing. It's called the dark
But
forest.
space travel's been around for like 50 years,
Right.
and we don't even know if it's actually happened.
I guess beyond that is the also like sending signals out, right? So in any case,
Yeah,
like,
but it literally like what was it that literally just passed the second?
yeah, the Voyager.
What's it called? Like yeah,
Yeah, it just passed the
Voyager too,
heliopause.
like how far is that really? If
I-
you were to look at the vast universe, how far is Voyager 2 actually gone?
Exactly. Not that far in the concept of the universe.
If you look at the scale of the universe.
So it goes further to explain, okay, so there's something called the dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox. And what the dark forest resolution is it's an explanation for why the Fermi paradox exists. The dark forest resolution basically says that if you were, there's a child's toy going off right now, oddly.
It's the
Out of nowhere.
aliens.
So, anyways, the Dark Forest resolution
Killer clowns.
is basically saying
Nope.
that that other beings, other worlds, are not sending out signals because it's considered that anybody who's sending out signals is considered I guess they would call it a hunter, right? A hunter in the forest. So if you catch the signal of another world and you're a hunter, The idea is that you would go and destroy them before they destroy us. So that dark forest theory, dark forest resolution, is basically saying that other worlds may not be sending out signals so as to not attract attention of worlds that would mean to destroy them. We, of course, are sending out signals constantly, which means that we do make ourselves a living target for other worlds who feel that we might be a threat in some way eventually, if not now, eventually. They're like, hey, they could come and conquer us. So in pop culture, because we're a pop culture show somehow, a good way to relate this is if you've ever seen Star Trek First Contact, the concept of that movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the concept of that. It was a great movie. So the concept of that one is they go back in time because the
Borgs.
Yeah, the Borg. They follow the Borg back in time
Yeah.
to when humans made first contact with an alien race. So they go back there and
Still in stuff's face.
yeah, listen to it. Okay, just listen
This
to
show
the.
is going off the rails right now.
I'm just like, yeah, I know that one. That has the Borgs in it.
Listen to the fucking story. So,
I
anyways,
know, but this is funny.
Lightsabers.
but it's related to this. Okay. So, anyways, so they go back. Captain Picard takes his crew. They go back and everything. So the whole concept is
Good
that
movie, though. I gotta
they
watch
may the first time humans achieve warp drive. It's detected by the Vulcans. The Vulcans come to Earth, and that ushers in the new era of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because they found a logical race, a peaceful
I
race.
love Star Trek lore. I don't really much care about Star Trek, but the lore is fantastic.
It's so good. So they were lucky
What's the
enough to
one
find.
where they had they met the not the Klingons, the Vulcans.
Yeah. So, anyways, so they were lucky enough to meet the
We're
Vulcans, who
pretty
are
close
good
to that, aren't we?
people.
That's another 100 years or something.
But they could have very easily have been identified by a group like the Klingons, who are a very war-focused race.
Oh yeah, they're assholes.
They could have come to Earth. They could have attacked. They could have done all this. It's the same concept, though. That's what the Dark Forest resolution is. Is that we don't know who's going to pick up the signals that we're sending. It could be people. It could be aliens who are peaceful and want to help us usher in paradise. It could be people who are intent on destroying us. So that's what that's the best way I can explain that. If you're a Star Trek fan and you've seen the movie, you understand kind of what that concept is.
No, I completely agree with Steph, though. There's something already here, and it's been known. It's been known for a while. I think people know it. There's a lot of like
Ugly people.
unspoken stuff that we know. You know what I mean?
There is. I think that there's a lot of things that we all just kind of inherently know, but it's just not confirmed. But it's like we know that it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna transition real quick to Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, let's talk about Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna look up some pictures of her real quick.
Just to
I've
make
had
sure
a
you
lot
know
of
who she is.
conversations
I
on
just
this
gotta make
one.
sure that I can put a face to the chest. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people are mad because Sydney Sweeney, who's not even a natural blonde, had blonde hair and blue eyes, was in a jeans commercial for was it American Eagle,
Yeah.
and they said it's like the jeans or whatever, and so
She's
a
got
lot
good
of,
genes.
good genes, and a lot of people connected to that in their minds to the Aryan race, and then made it a racist thing.
I'm gonna interject right away and say that I didn't make that connection until you just started talking about it.
No, that's what the connection is.
No, that's what the whole thing is.
That's what it's
So-
all about. Is
yeah.
Can I before you continue? Can I tell you what I thought the whole controversy was about?
Yes, because
it's gonna make you
you're
laugh.
Still right. You're still right, but also you weren't completely on their brainwave.
I want to tell you what I thought this whole controversy was about because it's pretty funny. So, as we know, a lot of groups like Victoria's Secret and Levi's and all that have been using a lot more plus-size models.
And I'm cool with
Yeah.
that too. I
Sure.
jerk off to that.
So
Did you need to know that? Never mind.
I don't want to know that.
So they've been using
Oh, I do.
a lot more diverse cast in their commercials. And I thought that their whole thing was like, oh, they're gonna put somebody who's hot on there now. I was like, yeah, bring it back, girl. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, these people are stupid. I did not connect the Aryan race.
No, they were saying blonde hair, blue eyes. Oh, like they.
I missed that one.
Completely going off
Way
the
off.
rails on it. Now there was an ad that came out, I think today or yesterday, of like a beautiful black woman wearing jeans, and they did the same thing. But the thing about American Eagle is they didn't back down,
Yeah.
and I respect that. And they said, you know, this was always about like blue jeans, dude. Like, this
Yeah.
is about blue jeans, and so apparently sale, because American Eagle has been suffering for a while. Apparently sales went up and they went back down again. I have to check to see because people have been
mean-
saying, "Oh, the stock market went down." The stock market is not sales, but people have been kind of like arguing that. I really don't give a shit about American Eagle. It's just the fact that like stop.
I respect them.
bitching,
I
you know.
respect them now for their
I
stance.
do respect. I'm never gonna buy their. No, they're down 12 point.
I can't afford them.
1.26%. Is they're down a lot, but they're already doing bad.
Yeah, but like, and I think that was always like the issue I had, and I'm not trying to knock plus size people at all, but like when you're trying to sell a clothing line and like people are trying to envision themselves and what it is, you want to use hot people.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I would make that argument that you would want to use hot people. Like
I
I want to
do
be
like-
in Sydney Sweeney's jeans.
I would love to
Yeah,
be
we
in
know.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans, but like
Sydney
here's the
Sweeney.
argument I liked is that they're selling women's jeans to men.
Yeah.
Like what? Why does a woman give a
Oh.
shit about Sydney Sweeney? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, here's the thing: you can be mad about it, whatever. But like, I think the outrage is just so overblown. But I think these people are fucking nutbags. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say. The end.
They are. People are just finding any reason to be outraged. Like, listen, you gotta. First of all, you're gonna take like one of the hottest people right now. I mean, you could use Sydney Sweeney. You could use Sabrina Carpenter. You could use like interchangeably any other blonde haired, blue eyed girl in that commercial. Like they're also like. I don't know how else to say. I want to say like hot objects, right? They're not objects, but you know what I mean. Like they're hot topics.
I will say that the left cancels people just as much as the right. Like, I don't give a shit about Rachel Zegler. Why are you? Why are you?
Why are you trying to
getting
convince
over
us?
fucking heated about Rachel Zegler and Snow White? Who gives it? Don't watch Snow White then. Why do you got to keep talking about it? Don't watch it. You don't need to make a big deal out of it. Just don't watch it. You don't need to keep talking about it. Like, oh, I'm not interested, and that's it. That's all you need to say. But you know what it's all about? It's all about the clicks. That's all
Yeah.
it's all about.
Well, everybody feels like their opinion matters now, and it really doesn't. I literally don't give a shit about half the things that I hear from people because I'm like, that's your opinion. We may not agree on it, but that's your opinion. Doesn't mean you have to continue to like batter it into my head because I'm not going to change my opinion. Chances are, but everyone feels that whatever they say is correct in this whole Sydney Sweeney thing. Like, I didn't think two things of it. Maybe it's because I have blonde hair and blue eyes, but I was like, that chick is hot. She makes me want to go get jeans
can
like
see you in
that
a
because
jeans
she's
commercial.
fucking hot. Thank you. But I'm just like, this. She is a. I don't want to say this incorrectly. She is a sex icon at this point. Like
She is.
she's a
But
fucking
she's a boobs
smoke
girl
show.
though. Like she's not really an ass girl. She's more of a boobs girl. So they should have went with the bras with her.
Okay, well, either
Yeah.
way,
They shouldn't have went
you
with
want
the jeans.
Jean bras. That's what they need. Jean
Jean
bras.
bras.
It's
but-
all in the jeans.
It sounds uncomfortable. My nipples would chafe.
But here's my. Oh my god. Here's the thing. Sex sells. Okay, sex sells, and that's just the long and short of it. And so you have men who are going to be like, "Oh, my girlfriend or my wife, let's get her some jeans because maybe she'll look like Sydney Sweeney." Or you have women who are like Adam, like you said earlier. I want to look like that. You're putting this in my head that I can look just as hot in those jeans. Whether it's true or not, that's the idea that you want. Like, I go on Amazon and I look at clothes and I'm like, oh shit, that looks so good on this girl who's 5 to 100 pounds. Like, yeah, I can look like that. And I buy it and I'm like, oh, I don't look like that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's that whole idea that that's who you want to look like. And maybe not everybody does, and that's okay. But a lot of people do. So that's the idea. It's not anything about the Aryan race or anything like that. It's like that.
Well, that's
that
the
chick is
thing.
hot.
Like, they connected a jeans commercial to fucking Nazis. Like, that's how you know
Yeah.
people are nutbags. You're just like, oh, she's got good jeans. Oh, World War II, Nazis. Oh, American Eagle hates Jews. And it's like they need.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you get from point A to
That's
point
just my
Z?
thing is like you have to be so twisted in the head to say connect a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, where did the outrage come from? Where did it come from? Where everybody had to be a group think about it? Like,
So-
oh, Democrats are mad, so we got to be mad.
So what's crazy too is that like genes play such an important part in how our bodies develop too.
I hate jeans. I only wear shorts.
Yeah. But genes,
And San
GE
Francisco's fucking cold in July, by the way. I was there for 10 days, and it's
Yeah.
freaking freezing. Why is it freezing in July in San Francisco? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
let me continue. So genes,
I was wearing
GENES,
shorts the whole time.
they play such an important part in our physical development and our physical health. But for some reason, people want to believe that, like, I don't know. They want to believe that, like, hey, just because this person looks this way, I can look this way or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's crazy that people aren't, like, listening to the scientists anymore about the genes. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to say, like, I'm getting very frustrated with people being like,
Okay. Here's
be
what I
mad
wanted
at
to
people for
say.
being hot, naturally hot. That's just what they are.
Here's what I wanted to say about science when you were talking about the alien spaceship, the mothership, the very obvious mothership with aliens in it coming towards Earth.
If you're just joining us, that's our
You know,
scroll
A lot of
back 20
people-
minutes, listen to the whole thing.
a lot of people are done with science based on number one, COVID, but number two, there is science out there that the old scientists don't want to let go of, but they have such prominence that newer scientists can't tell the truth because there's a lot of politics involved in science.
There is.
So people don't actually trust science.
Well, so I mean, you get
I do not trust science.
see. I trust science.
Although I don't
like
believe
science.
that vaccines cause autism. Going back to autism, go ahead.
Yeah, I do trust scientists. So here's the thing. So one of the episodes I was watching with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about COVID, and it was a very interesting take on it. Because he wasn't like supporting one way or the other. He was more talking about how information was released and why it caused such a distrust. It was a very good one, and I won't go through the whole thing, but I'll send it to you guys at some point. But his whole thing was that like they immediately jumped into this is what it is, this is what you have to do to be safe, this is the steps you should take. And then later they retracted and said, no, that's not, actually we were wrong about this, we were wrong. So it's like, okay, what you were telling us was wrong, we quarantined, we did all these things, but now you're telling us it's wrong. Like, why should we believe you anymore? And he's like, if you had come out and presented the information as like, here's what we know so far, here's some precautions you should take until we know more about the situation, it would have changed the whole dynamic of what happened. And I firmly believe that, and the way he phrases it, I'm probably not doing it justice, but the way he phrases it, it resonated with me. I'm like, he's right. He's, you know, presenting something as fact before you know the facts is how you cause people to distrust.
Yes, and that's the same thing with politicians. Speaking of which, did you know the Clintons were just called up for questioning about the Epstein files?
No.
Oh yeah, Clintons are called up, baby.
All right.
I
This
can't
will be
wait.
good.
This is why as you can hate Trump, you can love Trump, but I do love the Trump regime because like shit gets stirred, and shit needs to be stirred at the politician level. That's just my thing. Like, okay, my thing is like the first term he didn't drain the swamp. That's it. There's a lot of people saying, Trump's a pedo and blah blah blah. It's like I don't know, maybe.
If
Maybe
he is,
he
he
is.
should go to jail for it.
Absolutely, if he is, and if you can prove that he is, yeah, go to jail for it. And there's a lot of evidence to show he is. He was best friends with Epstein. I'm totally on board if it's proven that because the files. And it's weird because it's like they had these files, and then they said, "Well, these files are so bad, we're going to have FBI agents volunteer to look at these files because they're so because there's a lot of sensitive stuff in there, like literally pedophilia in there."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the files don't exist. And what happened today, was it today or yesterday, where the Republicans did vote for the files to exist, and then the Democrats said no. And then Trump did file for the grand jury testimonies to be released, and a Obama-appointed judge said no. Which this is all, like, I'm not sitting there saying I'm Republican or Democrat because I'm completely pan-anarchist. I don't believe in government at all. I'm just looking at the facts and making decisions and opinions based on the facts. It's just the fact that, like, definitely the Clintons are involved. Definitely Obama knows something. The whole thing with Obama and Russiagate, that knew Hillary was involved in that. And Obama said, well, this is going to screw everything up, so we aren't going to release any of that. So... this is the thing. We get fucked around by these politicians for so long. It's like, at what point do we say that, like, hey, this is enough? Or do we just continue to just get fucked in the ass by it?
Probably would just continue to get fucked in the ass by him.
Yeah, it seems to be the pattern here.
Thanks
Yeah.
for that answer, essentially.
Yeah,
Steph,
basically.
before we go, I do want you to talk about Hunting Wives, because that seems to be the big thing right now.
Sure.
And
Well, I want to talk about
I've heard a
Sandman
lot of
before we go
stuff
to-
about Hunting Wives that is this thing that you can't tell people that you're watching, but you watch it while folding laundry. Like it's, I haven't. I started watching it, and I love what's her name, Brittany Snow, but I haven't completely watched it. But you can tell me more about it.
Isn't Malin Ackerman in that too?
Yeah, and she is hot
I
as
love
fuck.
her.
So she'd be great in a jeans ad.
Tell me more.
Okay, so let me start off with saying I read this book, I think a year or two ago, not realizing it was going to be turned into a series. So I knew what the ending was going to be, or so I thought, because there were a lot of twists and turns in it. So I'm not going to give anything away for anybody who hasn't seen it. But I will say the book is completely different from the movie. Completely different killers, all that stuff. So, and the reason they did that was because they're making a season 2. I believe it's 8 episodes. I watched it in 2 days. It was that good. I was hooked. And again, thinking that I knew what was going to happen, our sister actually was texting me, and I was like, I just want to, she's like, you have to watch it. So I actually passed her up on it. Our sister, mine and Adam's. So, anyways,
I'm Kraus.
yeah. So,
Pretty much.
yeah, pretty much. You've been around long enough. But yeah, so like very well written, and I heard May Cobb, who was the author, actually gave the go ahead to switch things around. But all of the acting was phenomenal. It was sexy. There was a lot more sex in the show than in the book, which I understand. Like, you got to appeal.
Stop right there. I'm in.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Is there like sex with bigger women?
no, there
Well,
are
then I don't want anything to do with that shit.
Hold on, wait. I heard the word
What kind of perverted
Continue.
shit is that?
there are a lot of lesbian scenes in there.
Oh, I mean,
Nice.
Between Brittany and
oh,
just
I
give
love
this
Brittany.
one- Brittany and Malene.
If I can watch lesbian sex with Brittany, I'm in.
Yep,
Brittany
it's
Snow, she's a scream queen.
it's okay. It takes you by surprise. But not me because I read the books. I'm just gonna say that again. But yeah, it was just very well written, and everybody played their part perfectly. Like it grips you. Like it takes a little bit in the beginning, because you're like, what the hell is going on? And then it just kind of like takes you on this roller coaster. There's dark twists and turns and like all this crazy shit going on, but it's definitely like it's worth the watch. It's a quick watch, 8 episodes. You're not even gonna realize like how addicted you get to it. Um, it's basically the premise for anybody who doesn't know. It's a bunch of rich housewives who go to a hunting cabin and just get drunk and like they shoot guns, and they're in Texas. And then they get Brittany, who is this like Democrat from Boston or from somewhere in Massachusetts, Cambridge. They get her involved in it, and then she gets into their whole dark, twisted story. But honest to God, one of the best shows I've watched in a while that hooked me and like kept me going.
Like,
I know this would be your type of show that people might actually be interested in. So I thought I'd have you talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what kind of lotion should I have on the side table?
Jergens.
Something that yeah, it's gonna keep you moisturized for a while because there's a lot of
A
sex
little
in there.
little bit of candlelight.
So yeah, some vanilla scented candles. So actually, Steve, I watched it
Little
through.
Kenny G.
Not Kenny G. So I watched it through, and I started rewatching it with Steve because he hadn't seen it. I left, and he goes, "I actually finished it last night." He watched all 8 episodes.
Wait, he finished. He finished
But no,
what?
like I'm seriously hearing this is really good. Like this
Yeah.
is
It really
like,
is.
I'm seriously hearing this is really good, and I
Yeah.
have to like. I started watching it, but like I'm so like ADHD and was playing some game on my phone that I wasn't paying attention, so I'm gonna start it all over. But like everything I hear is like this is a guilty pleasure that is almost a must watch.
It really is. It's like if you don't watch it, you are going to be disappointed that you went back 3 years later and you're like, shit, why didn't I watch that the first time? And it's going to get better and better. I will say the ending on it actually was a little stupid because it's like it could have just all been left well enough alone, but it wasn't. And I'm not going to give it away. But so I was kind of like, what the fuck? But in the book, there were loose ends that I did not like, but they kind of developed the character of the loose end in the book into the show. And I'll talk about it more once you guys watch it and once it's been out for a little bit. But you know how much like I love like Wednesday and how pumped I am for it to come out tomorrow? That's how I felt about this show. Like I could
is that
probably
tomorrow?
rewatch this. It's tomorrow, August 6th.
Yeah, Wednesday's coming out soon.
Shit.
Yeah, so I
Those
will be
Stranger
binging
Things.
that.
God
So-
damn it! I gotta find time to watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta binge Wednesday because I might give it another try.
I liked it. It
I
was good.
I watched it twice. The first time I watched it to be like through it and watch it, and I watched it again the second time to like pick up on things I didn't see.
I
And
just got frustrated. It's like, why are you adding this new shit? I just like, okay, I'm an Addams Family purist. I grew up watching Addams Family, and that is not Wednesday, Thursday Addams. So that's
Yeah.
where I was just like, no, I love Addams Family. I have the patch on my vest that I sport around. I'm a big Addams Family fan. And it's like, this is not Wednesday. And
So-
and I love the movies. I've watched them every Halloween
Yeah.
Great
for my
movies.
entire life. Christina
Even the one
Ricci
with-
is the greatest Wednesday of all time. But I love the original ones. I love Wednesday. Wednesday is one of the greatest characters of all time. Like
Christina
bar none,
Ricci-
one of the greatest characters of all time is Wednesday.
Christina Ricci's making a comeback too. I mean, she was in the new Wednesday.
Oh, I love her.
She was
She's
in
she's a crush for me.
she was in Yellow Jackets, and she still looks amazing. Still is a great actress, but I'm curious to see how they do season 2 this year, and I'll probably know in 2 days because I'm gonna binge the fuck out of that. Super pumped about it if you can't tell. But yeah, I think Angelica Houston is supposed to be coming back into this one. She plays a part in there. But yeah, I think, I mean, again, like
You know what Wednesday reminds me of? It's
me,
Sabrina,
Sabrina, the new
the
one,
the new
or
Netflix
That was on
movie,
Netflix. Yeah.
oh shit, yeah,
and I
no,
wish that would have got on longer.
I definitely love Sabrina. Well, I thought another network was picking it up to end it, but I guess not.
But that was a good show,
Yeah,
and it was more uh, connected to the comics.
right. Which I like the darker version. Sorry, I'm plugging you guys in. I definitely, if people have not picked up on this, I like darker versions of things.
It was definitely a darker version,
Yeah,
and she
like I didn't.
was the female Loki, right? In the
Uh,
Loki series, I believe she was the
I don't
female
know.
Loki.
Who
I don't know.
Sabrina.
was she?
Yeah,
I don't. I never saw Sabrina.
good actress. That was a good
Oh,
show.
Adam, you should watch it.
That
Yeah,
was a good
Yeah.
show.
I heard it was good. I've got enough shows to watch right now.
Sabrina was in the Archieverse.
Yeah.
yeah.
So was
Um,
Predator. Should have been
God, I
Sabrina
love
versus Predator.
comics, man.
They
Like
were
it doesn't
supposed to
matter
do a
what comic.
crossover.
I just love comics. Why is
Yeah,
comics is the premier source of entertainment.
Yeah.
There is
I
nothing.
don't.
There is nothing that gives you a better story than a comic.
Speaking of, I'm sorry if we're all good with that. I do
Yeah.
want to talk about Sandman real quick because season 2 came out about a month ago, and
Don't say anything.
I'm
Don't
not gonna give
spoil
any
it.
spoilers. I'm not gonna give any spoilers because
Yeah, I
I'm
still
only.
don't watch it, but I forgot season one because I watched season one, but it's been a while.
So that's
And I
been the.
remember Satan was the. I think she was the chick.
Don't
from
say
Game of Thrones.
anything because I haven't watched it and I'm supposed to.
So that was the hard part with season 2 is that they would reference characters from season 1, and that came out like 3 years ago. And I've been having a hard time. Like I've had to look some of the characters up. I'm like, who is this person again? So they did that. It's not bad, but they did it a few times where I was like, I don't remember this person. Um, but season 2 has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually go. This isn't necessarily a spoiler, but they they do a little bit of the storyline from when the Sandman helps Lucifer escape hell. So if Steph, I know you were a fan of the Lucifer show.
I'm actually watching it now, trying to get through it. Yep.
Same so same thing, same writer and everything. That's the same Lucifer
Okay.
from the comics. So this is how he actually got out of hell. Was the Sandman helps him. Morpheus helps him
Yeah.
get out. So
Yeah.
it's the storyline, and I didn't know this actually until I watched the season. I had to look it up, but Morpheus helps Lucifer get out of hell, and Lucifer gives him the key to hell as the curse, and then so on and so forth. Hilarity ensues. But some notable guest stars, obviously not played by their Marvel counterparts, but Thor shows up in there. Loki is a part of it.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. They got him for Sandman. No. But they have
No.
Thor. They do have a group of elves. And the thing I like about it is like they're almost kind of like chapters, right? So you get 3
Yeah.
episodes about one storyline, and then it kind of continues on. Like there's kind of an overall story, but then they'll do another 3 episodes that's like another chapter, and then another 3. So they've done quite a bit, and I'm at a really good place right now, and I can't wait to finish it. I think I got like 4 episodes left. But it's been very outstanding, and I think for a show that's more of like a talkie, right? Because they don't, there's not like a bunch of violence or anything. It's like a fantasy, like, you know, it's a lot of dialogue, but it's a lot of story, which I think is something I don't think it's something that I love. I love a good story, and I don't care if there's action in it at all. If the story is really well written, I want to watch it. I won't stop watching it.
Yeah.
The only reason I stopped now is because, you know, I got work
Doesn't
and stuff.
hurt that it's DC.
Yeah. Well, it was Vertigo,
Vertigo, who is a subsidiary of.
subsidiary of DC, and it did connect to DC at times. Yes. but a lot of the stories that had to do with like Sandman, Lucifer, and all that were isolated from like the other stuff.
Which is interesting. Wasn't Vertigo more like didn't it have more uh different, like, heroes of color?
They did.
And why aren't I just think it's interesting with the age we live in.
Yeah.
Why aren't those characters being highlighted? Because they made it to like this was a person of color company.
They were very progressive. They were very
Yeah.
progressive.
But they're releasing Lucifer and Sandman, and I just think it's interesting that there were a lot of people of color that were attached to Vertigo,
Yeah.
or heroes that they're not really highlighting.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because like if you read the Vertigo comics and stuff with their characters and then you read the DC comics with those characters, they're completely different vibes. The Vertigo ones are a lot more heaven and hell. Like if you read Constantine by Vertigo, it is a completely different Constantine than you get if you read the DC version of it. The DC one is more just like magic. The Vertigo ones were more like the heaven and hell, still magic, but like it more acknowledges the heaven and hell stuff. So I don't know. It's cool. I think they could have done. I'm really disappointed that this is going to be the final season of Sandman because of how well they've done with it and all they could have done with it.
That's what sucks about streaming.
Yeah. Well, and so of course, we know that the
But
reason
at
this is
least
the
they
last
finalize
season.
it instead of just canceling it at the end of the season with
I
no.
know. Well, and the reason they're not doing a third episode is because of Neil Gaiman's indiscretions. Because he's in a lot of trouble right now for a little bit of the SA. But in any case, yeah. So it's disappointing that we're not going to get to see another season of it because I thought the guy who plays Morpheus he's just so good, plays the character perfectly. And he's always got the little half smile on, like you can tell when he's like he has a lot of good expressions with his face. Very good actor, and I hope they, I hope at some point it picks up and they do another, but I don't see that happening. But in any case, it seems like it's going to end in a very final way. So, but it's very good. Definitely watch it. Just as good as the first season, if not better.
I'm gonna
But-
try it this week, I think.
But yeah, that's my.
I'll probably watch it. I still gotta watch the end of Daredevil, which I have a hard time because it's so boring. So,
Gonna power through. The last like 3 episodes are fucking amazing.
it just like don't make boring shows.
Well,
You got one job.
speaking of shows, once I'm done with Sandman, I'm moving on to Twisted Metal season 2.
Yes, that's coming out Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
then-
god, I cannot wait.
Okay.
So
I'm
excited.
so
Okay.
excited for Twisted Metal. Oh my
So
god.
excited.
So, I will say I watched some of it last night at Steve's place because I should get him on this podcast. He's probably more entertaining for you guys than I am.
Sure, bring him on. Why not?
And I started watching it, and I only watched one episode, and I was like, kind of into this. I'm like, this is
It's
crazy.
so good.
It's
he, like,
really good.
explained
Anthony
it.
Mackie finally does a good job because please stop being Captain America. Does a good job in this. Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell's amazing in it.
Nev Campbell shows up, and I love Nev Campbell.
It's the
Okay.
right balance of action and humor. It's the right balance.
Yeah.
So I was watching like I don't know
Samoa
if it's-
Joe.
Samoa Joe and Will Arnett.
Okay, so I was watching the like previous where they were younger, and I was like trying to figure out who this actress was, and I was like, Steve, what's her name? And he told me whatever Nev Campbell's character is, and I'm like, oh, that's Nev Campbell, and I'm looking at the screen, I'm like, it's not Nev Campbell, and I was like, I'm so confused. He's like, no, that's like her younger version. I was like, Nev Campbell had a lot of work and looks amazing. She
Yeah.
looks like she's 20 again, but yeah.
Nev Campbell's like 55 and looks
Something like that,
frickin'
Yeah.
like a gorgeous 20-year-old. But that's not what I was impressed by, even though I'm just a horny 40-year-old. Nev Campbell
as the bad guy.
Yeah, she was good.
I love a good bad guy, and she did it for me. Because I've always, as a wrestling fan,
Yeah.
before we go, I'm going to talk about SummerSlam. Um, as a bad guy, she did it perfectly,
Yep.
and she's hot.
Speaking of bad guys with that show, I can't wait to see more of Calypso because he was hilarious in the first season, and you just got his voice. I can't wait to see more of Calypso in it.
Yeah. So the new season. So I forget when we did that with Sam.
Uh huh.
Let's get him on the show. Maybe he forgives me. So but we talked about, was it last year? We talked about the shows of the year, and it was surprising that I didn't say. Was it last year or the year before? Surprising that I didn't say Twisted Metal, which Twisted Metal was up there. I
Yeah.
forget what I said.
You did.
I think
well,
I
you
said,
did.
Scott
You did say
Pilgrim.
it.
I think I said Scott Pilgrim, which was also good, and I'm a Scott Pilgrim mark because Netflix had a Scott Pilgrim what if kind of
Yeah.
show, which I would still recommend watching because I love Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is my spirit animal. But yeah, I really like. If I didn't pick Scott Pilgrim, it would be this. It
Yeah.
would be
You had
Twisted
told
Metal.
me. You had told me how good it was, and when I finally sat down and watched it, probably like a month or two later, and I was like, "What the fuck? He undersold this. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good."
Well, it's because Scott Pilgrim did everything that Scott Pilgrim versus the World did, but said, "What if this happened?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I'm watching Scott Pilgrim versus the World all over again. I have the whole series up in my room. I've read every single. I love Scott Pilgrim. I'm gonna get the tattoo. That's probably gonna be the next tattoo I get. Scott Pilgrim's my guy.
Yeah.
And I do love those kind of off, kick ass. I do like those one off Marvel
Yeah.
comics a lot of times.
So,
But yeah, Twisted Metal. Man, they need that. They need to
so
put
I
a
gotta
game
go.
out.
I gotta do Twisted Metal, and then I gotta do Wednesday apparently, and then Peacemaker comes out. So, and I'll probably whatever I'm watching at that time when Peacemaker comes out, I'm gonna probably stop. Well,
I
because they
gotta
release
watch
them one
Sandman, too.
episode at a time, so I'll be able to.
I gotta
just
watch
kinda keep
Sandman too. So yeah, I
up.
don't.
Lots to watch.
Quite honestly, I've canceled all my commitments. So, other than some of my clients, so I'm probably gonna watch a lot. Oh, you gotta watch Hunting Wives.
Yep. That's a quick one though.
I do gotta watch that one. Yeah. I gotta watch Hunting
Um,
Wives, so maybe I can get Sarah into that.
Real quick, I
Sarah
wanna talk,
Sarah would like it. Sarah would like it.
Okay.
real quick, I want to talk about SummerSlam.
Go for it.
First of all,
Oh shit!
okay.
We forgot to do our in memoriam because
Steph. Okay,
What?
your boyfriend watches WWE.
Yes, he does.
What do you think of my boy, my number one favorite wrestler right now, who's been my favorite wrestler for about 10 years, Seth Rollins, completely selling his injury, completely selling this idea that he had this broken leg, coming out, cashing his Money in the Bank briefcase, and winning the WWE Championship over CM Punk, which is great because they're both kind of Chicago guys.
Yeah.
And I'm
So-
very excited about CM Punk versus Seth Rollins from Des Moines. So
Okay.
he's very much a Bears fan, Cubs,
Yeah.
Sox fan, Blackhawks fan, and CM Punk's from Chicago,
Right.
and a huge Blackhawks fan. So Seth Rollins, my guy, comes out after weeks of selling this injury. They say kayfabe is dead, and kayfabe is basically you live the gimmick. So there was this back in the day. There was this gimmick. There was this thing where Junkyard Dog. So the Freebirds, they had this cream that that made you lose hair, and so they put it in Junkyard Dog's eyes, and so he was blind. So Junkyard Dog was sitting at ringside while the Freebirds were wrestling, and this guy comes over because they didn't know wrestling was fake with a gun and says, "Don't worry, Junkyard, I got you." And then Junkyard didn't know if he should break kayfabe and tackle this guy or not. Like, you live kayfabe. So, like, Al Snow had this fake mannequin head, and he would literally go to restaurants and sit it across from him and eat and talk to it. So, like, they say kayfabe is dead, but Seth Rollins sold this injury, and so he was like, he was playing with his kids, but he was on crutches. And there's
Yeah.
video of him just like running down the street on crutches while his kids were playing.
Yeah.
And then he comes out, throws his crutches aside, and then cashes in the money in the bank, curb stomps CM Punk, and pins him.
So I didn't get to watch it. I don't know if Steve has watched it. I don't think I got there until late Friday if I went over there. I can't remember. But it sounds like something I should probably watch because I do follow
Oh, it's so
wrestling a little
beautiful.
bit.
It was a really good pay-per-view. It was really good.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
so, okay, here's the big thing for the woke crowd. Because of the whole thing coming on with Vince, I don't know if you guys know the whole thing going on with the Vince McMahon
Yeah.
lawsuit.
Mhm.
So, Cody Rhodes
Mm-hmm.
beat John Cena.
Yep.
There's
saw
a whole
that.
thing there. Cody Rhodes is the son of Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is like one of the classic guys. He was a big fat guy. He's the son of a plumber, and he never won the championship, the WWE championship, the WF championship. But he won it for the second time against John Cena. John Cena, this is his last run. And so it's like he's done at the end of the year. In December, he is done. There's no more John Cena. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. So after Cody Rhodes beat him, so Brock Lesnar comes out. So Brock Lesnar is discussed in this case. So basically what happened is this woman is saying that she was trafficked by Vince McMahon, and Brock Lesnar, in order to get a new contract, said, "Hey, can she piss on me?" Now, a lot of people, I'm probably going to lose
Heard
a lot
about
of
this.
followers here. A lot of people are mad because, like, oh, yeah, she was trafficked. She couldn't, blah, blah, blah. She was manipulated. Okay, this woman was given hundreds of thousands of dollars and then went back and continued to have sex. And then people are saying, well, she was threatened with not having enough to support her. She already had hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then she went
Yeah.
back. You know why
I mean, I'd go
she
back for
ended
that.
up suing? She ended up suing because she signed an NDA saying, we're going to give you 3 payments of like $3 million. And so Vince McMahon decided not to give her the third payment. And then she sued.
Yeah, he broke the NDA.
But the thing is, she's not suing because he broke the NDA. She's suing because of all the sexual trafficking and assault that happened to her, even though she was given hundreds of thousands of dollars and kept showing up to work, and then did not sue until Vince McMahon didn't give her the $3 extra million after she was given $6 million, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars she was given for sex that she willingly took and kept going back to work for. So Brock Lesnar was one of the people that said, "Oh, will she piss on me?" And so a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, he's a rapist." It's the same fucking shit. Because here's my thing. Okay, yeah, he's a scumbag. Vince McMahon's a scumbag. Yeah, they preyed on her, but like, she said, "I like this money," and kept going back to work. Like, at any time, you can say, "Oh, I got $100,000. I can like not work anymore."
It's like
for them.
it's like
But she
gamblers.
said, "I'm
Yeah.
going to return and then do more sexual favors and take more money."
Well, here's
That's
what
my
I'm gonna.
thing. and that's
Yeah.
where I'm gonna get canceled because people are fucking dumbasses.
Here's what I'm about to be canceled too for what I'm about to say. But if Brock Lesnar needs someone to pee on him for money, I am in. I'm right
in
here,
too.
man.
I'm in too. If Brock Lesnar wants to give me $100,000 to pee on me, or for me to pee on him,
Either way, I'll take the 100,000 either way.
Yeah. I'll drink a lot of water for you, man.
Yeah, put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'll fucking suck on your dick for $100,000. I'll suck on your dick for $100,000. I'll do that.
What
I
was
would
the
do
old,
that for you.
What was the old Robert Schimmel joke? You guys know who Robert Schimmel is?
No.
Comedian, really funny guy. But he was saying, he's like, yeah, he's like Mike Tyson, and offered so and so $1 million to for a fight to do this, and the guy said no. He's like, for $1 million, I'd suck his dick. he's like $50,000 goes a long way in mouthwash.
For $50,000, for $25,000, like there's like
Okay, I'm
what
not that
people
hard
think is a low amount of money. I would probably suck a dick for.
Sure.
Like I'm not just and swallow for $25,000. Yeah, okay.
Done it for free before, so
Gross.
Yeah. Well, I've never done it for free, but I'll do it for $25,000. Probably not less than that.
No, that's where you draw the line.
Probably not less than that. Maybe $25,000 is a little iffy too.
yeah. All I'm saying
I was like,
is,
listen, man, that's just go get a part-time job.
I'll do it.
Just go get a
I think you
part-time
can make
job.
more at Starbucks. It's fine, but you know we can talk about that.
Like I'm just like.
Plus you get
"Oh,
insurance."
This is
Exactly.
$25,000. How dare you? I'm suing you.
Should we mark this part of?
Yeah.
You decide
Yeah.
later. I'm pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. It
and
happens.
I guess since we've gone way
I
over
said
time, let's make we've gone way over time. Let's just do our little in memoriam. We lost a couple of legends since the last time we were on. Hulk
We
Hogan
did.
passed away. Rest in peace. Ozzy Osbourne,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. So there was somebody
And
else
it's
too.
funny that Ric Flair
There were a
outlived
couple.
them all, and Ric Flair's like 79 years old,
Dude, Ric Flair's insane.
and he's fucking nuts. He outlives them all.
Yeah, there was.
But-
yeah,
Man, see,
Hulk
Hulk
Hogan.
Hogan. Like many others, and I'm gonna say this from the bottom of my heart. The reason I ever got into wrestling was Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. I was sitting at this. I was at some like hospital, and they were playing Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant, and they were making this the biggest thing you ever seen. It was in the 1985. I had to be like 4 years old watching this, and that's where I fell in love with wrestling. Was, oh my god, that guy body slammed a giant? Oh wow. But they made it like so so surreal. And that's where I fell in love with wrestling. And I've been watching wrestling ever since like 1986, 1985. Since I was a baby. And so Hulk Hogan dying is an extra layer of sadness for me, because I will never get to meet him, number one. Number two, there's a lot of stuff behind him because he called, like, this guy that dated his daughter an N-word. I get that. That's terrible. And I completely am against that. But also, on the other hand, this is the guy, if it wasn't for this guy, I would not have this obsession.
yeah,
Also, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
yep,
That was third.
Cosby.
yep.
No.
Theo, yeah,
Oh
Theo
yeah.
Huxtable.
Sorry.
I think I
thinking-
would know.
yeah. I was never super into. I wasn't super into wrestling, at least not in the way you were, Rick. I enjoyed watching it from time to time, but I was a fan of his stupid movies, and I loved them. Mr. Nanny, Suburban
Yeah.
Commando,
Tooth Fairy.
Thunder in
Urban
Paradise.
Commando. Mr. Nanny. Okay, number one. What's that wrestling movie? No Holds Barred is the worst movie of all time. But I swear to God, as a kid, I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
When I was like 8 years old, I loved it. But if I were to watch it now, it's the stupidest fucking thing. It was
Most of them
terrible.
are.
Suburban Commando was pretty stupid, but childhood favorite of mine.
But like, if you put wrestling in front of me in my whole life, there was a time where I probably would have tried to been a wrestler, and I didn't do it. If you put wrestling in front of me, I am going to be involved and completely absorbed in it. I love wrestling, and Hulk Hogan is the reason for that. And it's like, okay, this is one thing that gives me like a break from all the stress from the world, and that's wrestling. And if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, who he went from All American to NWO, the ultimate bad guy, great bad guy. You watch him in Japan, great. He's a great wrestler. People don't understand how great of a wrestler he is, and this guy's like freaking 6'6". And so, you could say all the hate you want. Yeah, he was a douchebag and did a lot of shitty stuff and, whatever. But as a wrestler, just like you might say, Chris Benoit, yeah, he's a piece of shit. But I could tell you in the 90s, I loved Chris Benoit. When it comes to just pure wrestling, Hulk Hogan's one of those guys where, man, I loved watching him at the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Cool. Well, let's wrap it up. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this very, very long and special episode of the Spit
We
Take
promise
podcast.
we'll be better next time.
We were had to
I'm
catch
not
up.
making any promises.
But if you like our show, make sure that you like it, share it with your friends, do whatever you got to do, get our name
Share
out
with
there.
your friends.
Yeah, and have fun. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Level up, guys!